I'll be around until Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation Season 2, Episode 6, in 1-0 go. All right, so these are my little boys doing some stretches. You don't want to give yourself a cramp by not stretching enough. Anyway, it's kind of good though because, well, yes, it's a bit mundane. It will allow his body to grow, mature. He'll hopefully learn enough so that when he has to go out there in the wild, he can better fight. That's actually pretty cool. I like how we touch back on the figure making at the very least. Because I like how they introduced something he was good at, Rudius, but they don't completely ignore it. Well, I don't think it's ever going to compare at all. All right, hey, you know what? At least things are looking at the up and up. Oh, thank goodness there ain't no such thing as STDs in this verse. At least I would hope. All right. I mean, it makes sense though, because all things considered, maybe Rox gave him like the abridged version of it, and here's the longer, detailed version of it. I kind of like this. At least they're touching back. I'll ask to like what type of progress is making when it comes to the teleportation stuff too, which is cool actually. I like how he still thinks Fitz is a dude. That's kind of adorable in its own way. And he's still super young, so now if he was wanting to lift that Johnny and he was age 30, then that would be a big ass problem. Yeah. Sup, Spiral Matt? Hey, as long as it's better than last week, they'll be. Hopefully, then it'll be fine. Although, yeah, obvious, yeah, with like the opening 2 episodes straight, it's really obvious to tell that this season does not have anywhere near close to production values of season 1 at all. There's like the second episode back to back where we have an opening. Again, that's not a knock on that's not a knock on this specific episode because I already put the knock towards the previous one. But that just goes to show off that this season's definitely lower budgeted than season 1. Like, there's no debating it. It is. It is. Like going from every episode needing 0 openings and giving us an extra minute and 30 seconds of animation. So, oh yeah, we'll have the animations are not having an opening to like, you know, not have to spend as much animation. That's already a lower budget. It did. I really do hope this episode ends up being amazing, Sprung Matt, because so far season 2 has been a disappointment. Oh man. If only he knew. Ah. And I hope our boy Radius takes in all these hints though. I mean, hey, I'm sure if once Rudius finds out who she is, he'll understand her circumstances completely. I'm sure he'll be gung ho for that. I think it'd be a boy's pleasure. He actually enjoys her company, or should I say, his company, because he still thinks Fitz is a dude when we all know she's a chick. But I can oh. I love how he's handling it there for a little bit. Well, that's how you know his body is healthy. Like he doesn't his brain doesn't know it's a fucking chick, but his body does because he wouldn't be feeling that way. Actually, they did explain that earlier, Spiral Matt. It's to really hide her identity so that she can further protect her girl. Remember? They know they explained that. Oh, okay. I was taking you seriously there for a second, Spiral Matt. I mean, that's RDL. It's perfectly reasonable. And I think all the other girls would be understanding too because it's the princess we're dealing with. They would know princesses need protection. Reasonable, actually. And they're both upstanding citizens too, all things considered. I mean, hey, some people just latch on to others, certain people quickly. It's just the way it is. I mean, shy people can really hit it off well with some people, but with others, they can't. It just happens. I love it. It shows how she feels about Rudy is still. If only our boy knew she's talking about him. But here, I'm not going to blame Rudy for noticing yet. I mean, the sky she has is really good, actually. And again, like the hair went from green to white, and the eyes are covered. I do like this though. At least our boy is actually thinking about things a little bit more deeply now. This is at least a bit of a portrayal for Rudius than in the previous episode. He's both, not just one, both. It cannot be denied. What in the fuck? Oh my goodness. I am sure he has. I wouldn't be surprised if our boy used a pillow too. I love the way he says, "Sure." Yeah, man, I like the music. It feels nice and warm and campy, actually. Yeah, honestly, I really hope this figure fucker factors into the plot spiral, man, because yeah, I saw. Hope he does something because honestly, if he does nothing to contribute to the plot, it'll feel like bullshit. But I'll be a patient though with him Spiral Matt. I'll give it 3 or 4 episodes to see if this guy does anything relevant to the plot. It's just a matter of waiting for it. You would hope. If not, this guy's kind of lost. I mean, practice. Oh, that's kind of sad. Maybe he gets like much more harder material. Magic. I think with enough practice, should be able to do it. This one just be a matter of patience. Oh, this is kind of fucked up if you think about it. Just to make a figurine, our boy Rudius will buy a slave, not thinking about the ethical and moral implications of that. And I don't want to hear, oh, Rudius has lived in this isekai world for multiple years. Nah, Rudius's ass came from the regular, normal pre-isekai world. So if this guy buys a slave without batting an eye, that's just gonna make Rudius into a completely it's gonna make him even more unlikable than he already is. Oh my goodness. I think we're gonna have to wait for that, Danielitz. Ghost Tab. The thing is, he's literally has the mindset of someone coming from a pre-isekai world, though. This isn't even an excuse like Tatsu no Yusha, because at least in the Rising of the Shield hero, Naofumi had to buy a slave to survive. Rudius isn't buying a slave to survive. He's gonna buy one to support Figure Addict on figurine crafting. Big difference. Like, when it comes to buying a slave, there are ways of handling it. Not that, and Tatsu no Yusha wasn't the only series that handled it well. Even Rita of Hila handled it pretty well too. Because in that series, characters returned to slaves because in that series, the main character was doing it as an act of vengeance and also to increase his fighting force. Not only that, it shows you how morally irreprehensible he is, Danielitz. Look at that face! He's coming here as if it's like the most normal thing ever. Now, if Rudius were to buy a slave, like he would like make a sad reaction or in a monologue how wrong this is or question himself, then it wouldn't be so bad. I'd be like, hey, at least ethically he'd be thinking about it. Here, he's all matter of fact about it. That's my issue with this. My issue isn't specifically the buying of the slave, it's the execution of it. That's the issue I have with it. Ah, man. Just when I think they kind of made Rudius think Laura as a character This episode right here. Bravo, writing staff. Bravo. You somehow made Rudius somehow even less unlikable than he already was to begin with. I'm actually impressed. Holy fuck. The thing about that is, Ghost Tab, it's a world with card games. If things are solved by card games, that won't be so bad because card games are pretty ethical. Buying slaves, which is pretty much buying someone that doesn't have any freedom, is completely unethical. There's like a big difference here. And that's my issue here. And again, I don't have an issue with him buying the slave. Just the fact that he's not like at least questioning himself about buying a slave is what irks me. Like if he at least question himself how ethical it is, then I'd be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, he's buying a slave, but at least he's thinking about it. Yeah, our boy's just all matter of fact about it, as if he's buying freaking groceries with the way he's reacting. That's my issue with Rudius here. But hey, I really am curious to see where they're gonna go with this, though. Just saying, I'm not the biggest fan of this. I ain't gonna, I ain't gonna lie and be like, oh yeah, I'm so gung ho about this. Hell no. And again, Ryzen the Shield Hero and Redo of Healer handle this type of stuff better. Those who went, oh, Enemy Kevin, you hate seeing characters buying slaves. Nope. I've just seen it done better in other series. Thing is, though, because card game anime never pretend to make us take it too seriously, though. That's the difference, though. While Mushoku Tensei wants us to take itself seriously. Okay, actually, at least here we see Rudius actually have an instant reaction there at the very least. And it's nice getting to see his variety of languages too. Whoa, was he just about to stab that chick? Bruh. I mean, considering the life that girl must have lived, I wouldn't blame her one bit. I'm guessing he might be referring to potentially himself. Yeah, I had a feeling he was gonna talk about himself. You know, okay, maybe this could work. Just maybe. If they say have her do the figurine stuff, but then in a later episode have her give her freedom, then maybe this could actually work. Maybe. Okay, there might be some potential here. Some actually. Not saying I have the most faith in the series, but I see some potential. And at least you're trying to acknowledge that. Well, oh, okay. I really hope for her sake she does something because I would not want to see her life lost. It pretty much does Ghost Tab, and it has a big whiplash effect. Oh, they're Overlord for the most part and knows what it wants to be. Oh, yes! Hey, I love when characters say line spiral, Matt. Okay. Okay. Now the question with this is where do they take it from here? I'm guessing she doesn't have one. Oh, that makes sense. And I'm sure someone's old if they wouldn't mind a name. It's a chick. The fuck? Yeah, okay, good. At the very least, that's a fair compromise. Thank goodness. It is a cute name, I ain't gonna lie. Okay. Okay, at the very least, he's actually improving her life. And saying that, though, I do got a question. All right, here's how I feel about this episode. And it wasn't really the best episode of Mushoku Tensei at all. I do like the name, though. Now, there were positives about this episode and negatives. So many negatives, but so many positives, too. Let me start with the negatives. Right before our boy saw Julie, the negatives was his approach to buying a slave. I'm like, bruh. He was going there as if he was here to buy some vegetables in a fucking grocery store. But then again, afterwards, his reaction to Julie's circumstances, I enjoyed those. And how, at the very least, when it comes to this episode, he's at least taking efforts to improving her life. Now, in saying that, there were also other annoying details too. Like, in the purchasing of a slave, there wasn't any moment where the episode did making me feel like Rudy is trying to teach Konoba, trying to make figurines felt like it had any purpose at all. Like, seriously, what is the fucking point? It felt like the episode dragged its feet for so freaking long. Like, holy fucking cow. And speaking of which, while there are some positives and Rudy is improving, say, some of the living conditions of Julie, my issue with this episode does include the fact that, yeah, some of her conditions are improving, but we never really get in a monologue from Zanabia or even Rudius as to, like, whether they're gonna allow Julie to have her freedom after they have her make some figurines for Zenobia or not. They just leave it up to the fucking air, and I'm like, well, shit. This series wants to tackle the subject of slavery and all that shit, yet it doesn't tackle it hard enough with enough care and nuance. That's my issue with this episode in particular. there isn't enough nuance. That's why. Yeah, I mean, he's learned about teleportation and all that, Spiral Man. I don't mind that, but having all this figurine crap doesn't make the episode entertaining at all. But at the same time, with Julia, there are positives because I do love how our boy Rudy is linking his own situation to Julie's current situation. And that's what I feel about this episode. This episode's a mixed bag. There is loads of bad about it, but there is good about it, but there is bad about it. This episode is the definition of a fucking mixed bag when it comes to things. And that's why when it came to this specific episode, I'm like, yeah, there were positives, but the slow as fuck pacing when it comes to things like, oh yeah, we're going to make a figurine, the lack of nuance when it comes to handling things like slavery, I've got to rate this episode straight up. If I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and 10 being exceptional, I got to give it straight up a 4.75 out of 10. Because when it comes to the Juliet stuff, I'm like, bruh, how in the fuck do you make Rising the Shield hero and Rita of Healer look good in the portrayal of slavery in comparison? Like, fucking how? That is a fucking accomplishment. And then spending all this time just so Zenobia can fucking do some crafting. Like, this episode felt like such a fucking waste of potential. This whole season has been a waste of fucking potential. You know, fuck it. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 10 because the more I think about this episode, the more it just earnestly pisses me the fuck off because there is so much potential here. Like, if they would have made like Rudy is, take at least a little bit of pause mentally before buying a slave, if they would have like further cemented more good reason as to why our boy is going to help Zenobia and how that's going to benefit him, if they maybe even touch back as to what he's going to want to do with Juliet after they're done with having her services, this episode could have been good. It could have been good, but nah. This episode fucked it up. Well, oh yeah, that's true, Ghost Up, because this source material was out before those two. And they improved upon this series when it comes to the slavery topic, Ghost Up. The thing about this is, so Spiral Matt, the whole benefit his friend would work if his friend was an interesting character, but he fucking sucks balls as a character. I could give two shits about him. I care more about the fucking slimes in the Black Summoner Isekai series than his fucking friend. And those slimes don't even fucking talk. They just look cute. Yes, that he truly does, Ghost Tab. But regardless, though, Spiral Matt, Ghost Tab, Medina, what's this episode is poorly executed. And again, this could have been a good episode. It could have been good, but nah. The writers, they couldn't be bothered giving this any of the nuance it needed. Like, absolutely nothing at all. And that's why I find this episode to be an utter fucking disappointment. A damn shame. Mushoku Tensei used to be enjoyable. I mean, yeah, you never know those Spiral Matt, but yeah, this season's been a disappointment. Like I was a Mushoku Tensei fan. Look at me, I even bought the shirt. So yeah, I can't even say, "Oh, anime caveman, you're a hater." I watch all the episodes on Crunchyroll. I buy the merch, but man, this series has become an utter disappointment now. The thing is, though, Spiral Matt, even if they had Roxy, they'd fuck it up somehow. I'm sorry, I've lost faith in this series. Like, this series is it's meh. No, it's understandable for them not to have those characters, though, Daniel Witt. It's the way they're handling Rudius that's irksome. But yeah. Overall, though, this episode, I didn't like it. I guess I will say this: the animation was serviceable enough. Voice acting was fantastic, but that's it. But yeah, the writing, it could have been better in a few places. That's cool, Ghost Dad. But yeah, all right, enjoy it. Oh yeah, that episode. That episode made me laugh. But hey, maybe next week will be better. Nah, fuck it. Y'all, I'll be shocked if I find myself reacting to the next episode next week. I'll be fucking shocked. I'm gonna flip a coin next week. I'm gonna flip a coin. If you see me react to it next week, that means I won the coin flip. If it doesn't, nah. But yeah, honestly, Mushoku Tensei, this series ain't good anymore. Let's just be real. It isn't. It isn't. Better. We've been saying that for like 5 weeks, Spider-Man. It hasn't gotten better that much. Except for that one good episode in season 2, which was an aberration at this point. That one really good episode in season 2 was the exception to the rule. It ain't the rule. That was a fluke. That was a fucking fluke. But yeah, overall, meh. These are my thoughts on the episode, and yeah. I'm just... Yeah, see, yeah, I'm starting to doubt that too. Straight up. I mean, I hope that at least ends up being cool. But anyways, thank you to Spider-Man, Daniel Witz, and Ghost Dab. Maybe. But anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching the video. And I hope y'all have a great day and night, y'all, because I do got to work early tomorrow. Yeah, I got to wake up literally 7 hours after this. But anyways, thank you again, Ghost Dab, Spider-Man, Daniel Witz, and everyone else. And have a great day and night, y'all. Bye-bye.